Make a bargain never to refer to this again.
With all my heart. I shake hands on that, Richard. All possessions are to pass into the hands of his friend and benefactor, Edward Hyde. In case of Dr. Jekyll's disappearance or unexplained absence for any period exceeding 3 calendar months, the said Edward Hyde should step into the said Henry Jekyll's shoes. Without further delay and free from any burden or obligation beyond the payment of a few small sums to members of the doctor's household.
This document had long been the lawyer's eyesore. It offended him both as a lawyer and as a lover of the sane and customary sides of life, to whom the fanciful was the immodest. And hitherto it was his ignorance of Mr. Hyde that had swelled his indignation. Now, by a sudden turn, it was his knowledge. It was already bad enough when the name was but a name of which he could learn no more. It was worse when it began to be clothed upon with detestable attributes, and out of the shifting insubstantial mists that had so long baffled his eye, there leaped up the sudden, definite presentment of a fiend.
I thought it was madness, and now I begin to fear it is disgrace. If anyone knows, it will be Lanyon. I suppose, Lanyon, that you and I must be the oldest friends that Henry Jekyll has.
I would wish the friends were younger. I suppose we are, and what of it? I see very little of him now.
Indeed? I thought you had a bond of common interest.
We did, but it is more than 10 years since Henry Jekyll became too fanciful for me. He went wrong in mind. And although I maintain an interest in him for the sake of old sake's sake, as they say, I see and have seen devilish little of the man. Such unscientific balderdash.
Did you ever come across a protégé of his, one Hyde?
Hyde? No, never heard of him. Since my time.
That was the amount of information that the lawyer carried back with him to the great dark bed on which he tossed to and fro until the small hours of the morning began to grow large. It was a night of little ease to his toiling mind, toiling in mere darkness and besieged by questions.
If he be Mr. Hyde, I shall be Mr. Sick. Mr. Hyde, I think?
That is my name. What do you want?
I see you're going in. I am an old friend of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Utterson of Gort Street. You must have heard of my name. Meeting you so conveniently, I thought you might admit me.
You will not find Dr. Jekyll. He is from home.
Ah.
How did you know me?
On your side, will you do me a favour?
With pleasure. What'll it be?
Let me see your face. Ah. Now I shall know you again. It may be useful.
Yes. It is as well we have met. And how appropriate you should have my address. And now, how did you know me?
My description?
Whose description?
We have common friends.
Common friends? Who are they?
Jekyll, for instance.
He did not tell you. I did not think you would have lied.
Come, that is not fitting language.
Mr. Hyde gave an impression of deformity without any nameable malformation. He had a displeasing smile. He had borne himself to the lawyer with a sort of murderous mixture of timidity and boldness. All these were points against him, but not all of these together could explain the hitherto unknown disgust, loathing, and fear with which Mr. Utterson regarded him.
Good evening, Mr. Utterson, sir.
Good evening, Paul. Is Dr. Jekyll at home?
I will see Mr. Utterson. Would you like to remain here, sir, or shall I give you a light in the dining room?
Yeah, thank you.
Dr. Jekyll has gone out, sir.
I have seen Mr. Hyde going through the old dissecting room. Is that right? Dr. Jekyll is from...
Quite right, sir. Mr. Hyde does have a key.